In this quick start tutorial, I will show you how to reverse an invoice payment transaction. This tutorial is based on a request. The question I received is if a customer invoice payment was entered in GnuCash and the check was returned for insufficient funds, how is the invoice payment voided or reversed? To answer the question, GnuCash doesn't have a dedicated void button, but reversing the transaction function effectively achieves the same results. But before you begin making these type of changes to your original records, it's a good idea to have a backup file of your work until you're sure you have the results you were looking for. If you like my tutorials and find them helpful, please subscribe. Let's begin. Here you see I'm starting out with a zero balance in accounts receivables, which means no one owes me anything, everything is paid up. And if I look in my checking account, you can see the payment deposits, all positive. But here we have Deborah Lynn. Her check for $50 bounced, so I need to reverse this payment. To reverse an invoice payment, navigate to the relevant customer's account register by selecting Business on the menu bar and then Customer Overview. Here on the Customer Overview page, you have a list of your customers and access to their payment reports. To access a customer payment report, scroll through the list to select the customer. If the list is short like I have here, you don't have much to scroll through. But if you have a long list, you can click on the tabs at the top to sort the list in ascending order. For example, I can click on the Company Name tab and it will list the customers in alphabetical order. This will make it a little easier to find the customer you're searching for. In this example, I want to reverse the transaction for Deborah Lynn, so I will click on her name to view her customer account register page. Here I see the payments I entered for this particular customer. According to her record, the total due is 0. I want to reverse the $50 payment since it was returned for insufficient funds. To reverse a payment, click on the link to the payment you want to reverse. This will take you to the accounts receivable register, where the payment transaction was originally recorded as paid. Once you clicked on the link, the selected transaction should be highlighted in the accounts receivable ledger. You can tell when it's highlighted because it will appear in a bright yellow color. With the payment transaction you want to reverse highlighted, select from the menu bar Transaction and then select Add Reversing Transaction. Enter the date if different by clicking on the drop-down arrow to bring up the calendar you can use to change the date. And if I scroll down to the bottom, this creates a new transaction in the accounts receivable register that cancels out the original payment. I can see that Deborah Lynn's payment is no longer valid. It now shows the payment that is due, which is the $50 for the bounced check. Now it is as if the customer never made a payment, which is what you want. Now you want to double check your entries. Reversing a payment will adjust the customer's balance and update the relevant accounts in your general ledger. You want to make sure the amounts and accounts are correctly set to accurately reflect the cancellation. Here on the main screen, we can see that the accounts receivables assets account shows that the business has earned $50, which is still unpaid. And if I look in the customer's register, I can see the total due is $50, and the system describes the reversal as a refund to the customer. Next, we want to look at the asset checking account. Here I notice a withdrawal has been added to the checking account for the $50 reversal for the customer Deborah Lynn, which reduces how much money this particular customer has actually paid toward the money owed to the company. Now, if I don't do anything at this point, when I close out and open the program again, I will be greeted with a message informing me that Deborah Lynn still owes $50. That's it. Now you know how to reverse a payment you originally entered as paid.